Hey guys, it's Valentina's owner here, and today we have here is Valentina the kitten, and I will be telling you on how my kittens went through some type of creepy mutation. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is how Valentina got her cockatrice form. So here is a short footage of her turning into some cockatrice form. It's like a little story thing. It's probably her backstory. So here's the video. And there won't be like any audio in the video. It's just me talking. So let's get on with the video. When Valentina was like walking in the forest, she found this unusual green strawberry over there, and she would, walk up there, and as soon as she walked up there, she would eat it, and then something really bad happened to her. I mean, the whole forest started shaking until she turned into some type of creepy mutant she had like a long pink tongue. It was like so scary. Now, this is how Muffin got her horrifying form. Muffin was playing this Ouija board game until something controlled her hands that made her spell something that actually got her horrifying form. So, it was actually spelling horrifying Muffin on the Ouija board game, and something really bad happened to her as she would, transform to something very horrifying as she was, it was like everything was like shaking until she turns into something. You can even see her teeth with black lipstick, I think. Kitten Kelly is somehow the only one who is not a mutant because this is how she got her goddess form, that she's actually a goddess, not a mutant. Kitten Kelly somehow flew all the way up in the sky, and she discovered this place called heaven, and she realizes that she met someone that she has never seen before. It's actually a spirit called Jesus, and he would, put this snow mist like on her that causes her to be in her goddess form because somehow Jesus really likes Kitten Kelly so much that she was a sign of goddess. So she was like a sign of an angel, and this is when you can probably, after transforming into a goddess form, you can probably see her halo and her glowing eyes too. Look how pretty she is. Oh, I will exactly tell you on how Lillian got her hellish form with those wide eyes, sharp teeth, and claws too. You probably remember this video on YouTube where Lillian was exploring Garten Banban too. If she didn't understand what GV means, it means Javanium, not Green Valentina. But when she got a little too curious, she walked up and flew up, and then she realizes that she got a little too curious until she falls into the Javanium barrel. And as she falls in, this is when she turns into her hellish form. Just like other Garten Banban monsters. You can even see the claws too. Here is a full story of Cockatrice Valentina. So make sure you picture this in your head. So Valentina was last seen in the Walmart store because she did not really come home to my house, but she was seen at Walmart doing something really bad there. It even was all over the news. So Cockatrice Valentina somehow hold on. I know everything. So for some reason, she went on a rampage by destroying everything in Walmart. Even a lot of security officers and police officers literally had to take their guns out and try to shoot Valentina. But literally, she got so mad. So she almost got shot, but she was so mad that she even petrified the security guards and even the officers with her eyes as she, creates sound waves that look like she's vibrating her eyes, but it's actually sound waves from her glowing eyes, but it's actually somehow very silent. You cannot even hear her sound waves, very silent sound waves from her eyes. It's the same color as her eyes, but for some reason everyone's literally petrified. They would stay petrified for about 22 minutes, and before she would not destroy the petrified humans, but she would destroy everything. That because she was literally out of control, and she was so enraged, very enraged, and she even destroyed some of the kids section toys too. This is so bad. But but she did steal like a lot of strawberries and celeries and her favorite foods, which is kind of the most illegal thing I ever did. And I'm pretty much the one who should be responsible for my kid Valentina, and I should probably not take her outside in public anymore. But well, she could be. She was last seen, being. She was seen in the. After she escaped Walmart, she went into the forest. She went into the forest again, not in the same one, but in a different forest. Until she was looking for like some food until a pack of wolves came up to her, but she was somehow strong against them because she would quickly like petrify the wolves. She's like Medusa, but they would stay petrified for about they would stay in stone or be petrified for about 22 minutes. And then luckily Valentina had to quickly fly up in the air and then petrify all the pack of wolves. Like literally, she is some strong, deadly kitten. So, but and then she was last after she was for some reason she had like a for some I remember when she's like about 1 year old, but she somehow has like she pretty much likes me, but she somehow has like a she's somehow like dislikes other humans because it's probably because she used to live in an abusive like family where her owners were like very abusive towards her when she was like 2 months old. Like it was so sad. But at 5 months old she was like hurt a lot. They even almost injured her wings. And then she did not really have a dress back then, so even the kids were like so the mom and dad were somehow the usually the human mom and dad were like somehow abusing Valentina the kitten. It was like so sad. But then some of their but there's like some of their kids even abused Valentina. So not like the cat ones, I mean the human ones. So that's why they adopted Valentina, just to abuse her for fun. And also, she was also last seen coming. She was last seen. Well, this is when I gave her like a dress, like a green dress, and she was seen, going back to her old abusive home, and she officially got her revenge. So what she did was, some of her mom and dad, her abusive mom and dad, literally said sorry to her. They were all so for some reason she told them to kneel down, because if they don't listen to her, she would actually petrify them. But then for some reason she got a little too mad on what happened in the past and somehow petrified them. This is why Valentina somehow hates people in her cockatrice form, but she is nice to people whenever she's in her normal form. So she was, but she was rarely seen being nice to a little girl whenever she was in her cockatrice form. She would lick the girl's arm, kind of nasty to say, but that's what nature is. It's kind of sweet. It's like Valentina giving little kisses to a little girl. She was just kissing her arm by just kind of licking it. She was maybe trying to lick the salt off of her, maybe. Okay, so that is the full story of why cockatrice Valentina has been going on a rampage and other stuff. So I'll tell you the whole story of horrifying muffin. Do not worry about these other images. Let me look for horrifying muffin. Okay, here she is. Let me just give my jaws a break for just about 12 seconds. Okay, I think I should get ready. I should probably keep talking now. So this is when here's how horrifying got her. You've seen horrifying Muffin playing a Ouija board game until she went into her horrifying form. Now this is her backstory. She was actually not in an abusive family just like Valentina was, but she is somehow very nice to people whenever she's in her horrifying form, because she was like in a very so I remember when I adopted Muffin, when for some reason she lived in a poor family home, and it was kind of sad actually. So for some reason they thought Muffin was a mean kitten, but she was always nice to them. And the so they were she was living in an apartment with or like a motel, I say, with her she had like two owners, a mom and a dad, who actually she had like the only person she had was actually her mom, which is a human. She did not really have like a husband or kids, I say. So I don't remember what her previous owner was named, but they would treat she would like treat her like treat Muffin like a queen and feed her everything she wants. But Muffin once said, "Why are you not feeding yourself?" So she was somehow too young to be a queen, but she did not want it to be. She always did not want to be a queen. She just wanted to be treated as like a cute kitten. So horrified. I remember when like Muffin the well Muffin the kittens. So this is when she would drink milk every day, and I remember when she started to eat a muffin for the first time, like a muffin, until her owner was so shocked to say, "Don't eat that, that's so unhealthy." But Muffin realizes it's pretty much healthy for her, unlike because that muffin that she ate was a really healthy muffin. And then this was when when she was maybe like 5 months old, but she's now like she's currently 8 months old, but she looks identical at 5 months old. She was playing like a Ouija board game, probably at 5 months or 4 months or 5 months old, and until she was like she was like playing this Ouija board. So before we get into that, as for some reason her owner could not. She almost like the owner lost her motel for not paying. So that's why it said eviction notice. So she had to give up on Muffin by abandoning Muffin, and she was saying, "Goodbye, owner. It was a nice time living with you." Kind of sad actually. So then Muffin, until I met Muffin the kitten, who did not have like pajama like who did not have like pajama clothes back then. That's when I gave her that. And when she was like she was like somehow living in my house, and she played this like a Ouija board game until she turned into her horrifying form. I was like so shocked on what happened to Muffin. She was like 4 foot tall, just like Valentina's cockatrice form. So for some reason, unlike cockatrice Valentina, who went on a rampage, she would walk outside just minding her own business, but until some stray cat approaches her and says, and the cat was like meowing at her very angrily, saying, "What are you doing in my territory?" But for some reason, she had an intelligent. She somehow stand on 2 legs to show how scarier and bigger she was, and she even spread out her wings as a warning that she would attack. So then, you're lucky that horrifying Muffin is somehow more stronger than a stray cat, because she has more teeth, and she can even bite more brutally than a cat's fangs, I say. And so then the stray cat was like so scared and then ran away. So if any cat tries to mess with her, she would spread out her wings. But she's pretty much a very docile cat, and she's not really. She is sometimes hostile, but a little often, I say. But she's very nice and sweet. So that's probably how horrifying Muffin got her. Muffin that got her horrifying form. So let's go to Goddess King Kelly. Just give my jaws a break for another 12 seconds. Okay, guys, so this is how Goddess King Kelly got her goddess form. So, you probably have seen King Kelly flying up in the sky into heaven until she met Jesus for the first time. I kind of like Jesus, by the way. You can pray to him in the comments if you want. You can say pray to Goddess King Kelly and pray to Jesus if you want. So, for some reason, when Jesus was looking at Ken Kelly for the first time, he was Ken Kelly was somehow very sweet to people because she was like living in a rich family with a mom and a dad who somehow had kids who treated her very well. She had like the best life ever. So for some reason they had to give up on her because they adopted another cat that was like really mean towards her, but so they instead of leaving her on the streets, they put her up for adoption because, well, they could not really afford any more cat food. They adopted another cat and they cannot really feed two anymore. So, but then Ken Kelly was like, crying that she was like, "Don't leave me." But then the owner said, "I'm sorry, Ken Kelly, but I have to really give you up." So then, until I went to a pet store and I wanted to maybe get like a kitten that has wings until I found the perfect kitten, which is Ken Kelly. So I would, dress her up, and she's officially my kitten now. I would dress her up with like a white shirt with like a blue teddy bear, which you can barely even see it like over here, I think. You can probably barely even see her teal shorts with white stripes. So this is how she got her goddess form. I say that so after she got her goddess form, she can somehow grow like any size, but for some reason she is proven to be the most strongest kitten in the whole earth. So for some reason, she even hates demons. So the only demon she likes is somehow Devil Valentina, which is the sister of Valentina, who cannot even fly for long distances. But she was seen defeating Raven from Teen Titans Go. She was seen she was like, scaring the life out of Bugs Bunny. But she decides to give mercy on him. But for some reason, I remember when she was defeating some of the villains from Looney Tunes, like Daffy Duck, Taz, Porky Pig is somehow a hero, I guess. That man with the hat, with the gun, I don't even know his name. And, well, she was seen scaring the life out of Catnap after when she did not really scare Catnap from Poppy Playtime, right? So she is somehow the actual strongest kid because she's literally a goddess, like powerful as God and Jesus. So even though if she first looked at Catnap while she was like maybe 80 foot tall, Catnap was like so scared. And when he even tries to put Goddess King Kelly to sleep, she has like powers and ability. She would turn into some invisible. She would turn into like a spirit that would protect her from Catnap, like a ghost would do. Like she would turn into some ghost kid, and because she's a really smart kid, she can even see everything on Earth. She's literally in everything. So she can be like any animal. She could be like a grizzly bear, a periton, which is a deer with wings, I say. She can be like a white stork, a cat, a dog, or anything. Like, you can tell her to become a gorilla. You can tell her to be a pig. You can tell her to be a cow. You can tell her to be a goat. You can tell her to be anything, like a rooster, a hen, anything. She could be a rooster too, but roosters are males, but they would call Goddess King Kelly a boy, like a he, but she's actually a girl. So she can be literally anything. I think I may know everything about gods, but I think Jesus would probably be doing the same thing too. So I think Jesus is probably close to being a god, but he's still a spirit, I think. So I remember when Goddess King Kelly somehow met God's wife called Mary. So it's pretty much a story, I say. So Goddess King Kelly is a very sweet and good kitten. So she has the ability to, control the weather and other stuff. But whenever she rarely gets angry, but whenever she's like she rarely gets angry, but she also gets enraged very rarely, because if she was ever to be very rarely enraged, you know what she actually would do? She would actually cause some earthquakes and create like tornadoes whenever she's like angered. She's probably the most strongest kitten than literally everyone. So if they even try to, she's pretty much immortal, that there's actually likely a good chance that she would probably live forever, like as the immortal jellyfish would probably do. And yeah, she could be like bigger than Kittysaurus from Gertrude of Banban or Jumbo Josh, I say, even Stinger Flynn, I think. I guess, yeah, but she's still the strongest. No one can even beat her. She does not have any weakness at all. She's just so strong. So that's probably she can even like, she maybe be way stronger than the Flash, which is the fastest cartoon character. You know the Flash, right? Well, she could probably protect the Flash and Sonic the Hedgehog, I guess. So she can literally grow like any size. She can even be bigger than the Earth. She's literally in everything. Like Goddess King Kelly could probably be your fan. She could be probably your bedroom, I guess. She can be literally anything. Like she could probably be the sun, the moon, your house, your fan, your kitchen table, something like that, I guess. So that's probably all for Goddess King Kelly. Now let's take a look at Hellish Lillian. Just give my jaws a break. She kind of scary, eh? Okay, guys, so here's how Lillian got you've seen Lillian got her hellish form, but this is pretty much like she's like Cockatrice Valentina, but more brutal and worse. So for some reason, when Lillian got her hellish form by falling into Javania, for some reason, she was like in Gertrude of Banban too. I feel like she was probably the first one who got her hellish form before Banban did. So, for some reason, when Lillian got her hellish form, she somehow like was like growling, drooling a lot, and she would fly out of Gertrude of Banban 2 and back to Gertrude of Banban 1. So Lillian somehow saw the kids over there. She was like so mad. Like she somehow went on a crazy major rampage by killing a lot of kids that had like blood all over the place, and where the Opila Bird mission is. Like it was like she was like so brutal towards them. This all happened in the past. So for some reason, Hellish Lillian somehow did not really like people that much, but I came into Gertrude Banban to see whatever happened, but I realized, so I was like, Lillian, what happened to you? And then she got so mad that she even chased me, and I had to hide from her, but luckily I lost her. But for some reason, she came back to the urban air place that's usually on a YouTube video, but then she growled at Valentina when Valentina was back then in her normal self. So then, she was saying, Lillian, are you okay? And then Lillian started growling at her, but Valentina said this again. can you please tell me what happened? But then Lillian was somehow saying the most nonsense thing. She said, I can recognize you. I can recognize you very well. Valentina the kitten. It was kind of like nonsense, I say. Um, so, Lillian was like, she somehow like got so mad enough that Valentina was like so scared that she had to like, run away fly away from Hellish Lillian. And for some reason, she got so mad and then lost her. And then she was seen returning to the urban air place, and until she sees Spleens the cat and her sisters too. And then she said she was somehow a little docile with Spleens the cat, and she said nice to meet you too, but she was speaking in a more demonic voice, I think. But people have mistaken that she eats like pancreases just like Hellish Pan does, but she actually does not eat pancreases. She just, kills kids and then leaves it. And leaves the monsters to like, eat them. Kind of she's somehow considered to be the most aggressive kid than her sisters too. Although, for some reason, sometimes when Lillian's in her hellish form, sometimes Devil Valentina likes to annoy her, that she gets really irritated. And she's very careful with Hellish Lillian because she tries to avoid the claws. Despite not flying for long distances, she's still really good. So yeah, that's how Lillian got her. And also, want to know how Lillian lived her life? She actually was adopted by nobody, but she was mistreated really badly by her mom cat and her other kittens. So she used to live as like a tabby cute kid until her tabby mother was like very abusive towards her because she had like macaw wings, and her tabby sisters, she had like 5 kittens, but except for one that's like had like wings, which is Lillian. So she would take her kittens on a walk, but they told Lillian not to come because because she has like wings, but she really needed help when it was like really hot in the heat. So I remember but some of her siblings did not even help her because she was like in a really abusive family, just like Valentina was. But hers was like way more worse because they started clawing her, and she started to bleed all over the place until she was rushed to a hospital where she had to get like more blood. So I remember when her leg part, her rear right leg was like, injured, like she had like a broken bone. That was like, this was all caused by her mom, I say. Because for some reason the father cat somehow divorced her. That's when Lillian was like in a really in a really bad family. Like, it's kind of sad actually. So that is all I have to say about Lillian's creepy hellish form. She sometimes drools, but not very often. When her teeth, she sometimes drools, but a little often, I say, whenever she's kind of angry. But she can be nice sometimes, I say, but a little often, I say, but not very often. I mean, a little often. So whenever people try to pick her up or pet her, she will usually growl as a warning that she will attack. But she sometimes hates little kids, but she does not really understand how little kids act. But I remember when a little girl was petting her, petting Lillian the kitten, but she somehow laid down and then showed an angry look on her face, but her mouth was not really open at all, just some frowny face, and still angered eyes, I say. But then the little girl was so scared that she did not really want to pet Lillian anymore. So then she started crying and then ran to her mommy. But Lillian just kind of shrugged a bit and then got up and then flew away. So that's a whole story why Lillian got her hellish form and started to go on a murderous rampage, I say. She did kill like a lot of people in the past, I say. So, and then when she was like, I remember when she came back to Garten Bam Bam when she flew down, but then she somehow calmed down and then turned back into her normal form, but then she realizes that she sees all the blood all over the Garten Bam Bam kindergarten, all the kids, and she cannot remember what happened. But she thinks that somebody did this, but it was actually her, but she was like in her hellish form. And when she came home, she realizes that I remember when she cleaned up the blood all by herself, even the blood stains by using cold water, that she is a really intelligent kitten. Wow, you're really intelligent, Lillian. So I guess my kittens are mutants now, except for God is King Kelly. Also, there might be a new kitten coming soon. It's a silver tabby cat that speaks Arabic, and it actually squeaks like an actual mouse too. So I won't be dressing her up just like unlike my other kittens. I wouldn't be probably be dressing her up because I think that's enough clothes for today. So that's the whole story of my kittens. So peace out.